You got butter in my chocolate? You got chocolate in my butter? What seemed like a trivial moment turned out, for Reese's, to be a fateful collision that sparked millions of sweet and salty cravings around the globe. But how does Reese's produce over 2 billion cups every year? And what makes these little treats a salty sweet addiction that has lasted nearly a century? This epic journey begins when the finest ingredients are transported to the Reese's factory and enter a magical process of industrial transformation. There, through the fusion of world-class machinery and a closely guarded secret recipe, tiny chocolate-coated cups begin to take shape, each one enveloping a soft, crumbly, salty sweet peanut butter center that melts on the tongue. And because you deserve to know the full story behind this iconic snack, today, Agriculture Insight is taking you inside the giant factory, where every single second a new legend is born. From a small basement in the town of Hershey, Pennsylvania, Harry Burnett Reese, a former farmer with nothing but a bold dream, created the Penny Cup, a chocolate and peanut butter candy that cost just 1 cent. That tiny treat quickly won over America and went global after a historic merger with Hershey in 1963. Today, inside Hershey's modern factories, Reese's shares the floor with other iconic creations like the Hershey Bar and Hershey's Kisses. But its place is irreplaceable. Over 4 million Reese's are produced every single day, generating more than $3 billion in annual revenue. Compared to the intense sweetness of Snickers or the crispy snap of Kit Kat, Reese's wins hearts with its smooth and unique texture. Soft chocolate melting into rich, perfectly balanced peanut butter, touched with just a hint of salt. It's a combination that fuels millions of cravings every single day. Now, join me as we step inside Hershey's massive factory, where that magic happens every minute, every second. First, let's start with the legendary peanut butter filling, the heart that made Reese's an icon in the world of candy. The main ingredient is high-quality runner peanuts sourced from the southeastern states of the U.S., marking the beginning of their journey from humble nut to signature peanut butter. In the first step, the peanuts are fed into a high-speed vibrating sieve system, operating at 300 to 500 vibrations per minute. This continuous shaking action effectively removes dust, shell fragments, and impurities with near-perfect precision, leaving behind clean, pristine peanuts, ready to enter their next phase of transformation. Immediately after, the peanuts are transported via an automated conveyor to a shelling machine. Using steady air pressure between 5 to 8 bar, the outer shells are gently removed. A high-powered suction system then whisks away the loosened shells, leaving behind intact, perfectly round peanut kernels. After being cleaned and shelled, the peanuts move on to a state-of-the-art optical sorting machine. Equipped with high-speed sensors and cameras, this system scans up to 5,000 peanuts per minute, detecting and precisely removing cracked, damaged, or substandard nuts using air jets accurate to the millisecond, leaving only the most flawless kernels. But the inspection doesn't stop there. Right after the automated filtering, a team of skilled workers manually checks the peanuts by eye. With sharp attention and swift hands, they sift through each kernel, removing any that are flat, broken, or below standard. The selected peanuts are placed into a rotating drum equipped with high-pressure spray nozzles, where powerful water jets remove dust, soil, and any remaining impurities. Once the peanuts are fully cleaned, they begin a remarkable transformation inside massive industrial roasters, the golden key to unlocking the signature flavor that only Reese's can deliver. The temperature is carefully maintained between 160 and 177 degrees for 25 to 30 minutes, just enough to thoroughly dry the nuts, create a light, crisp outer layer, and release their natural, rich aroma. After being perfectly roasted, the peanuts are quickly cooled and transferred to an air blast system that removes the thin, papery skins. This process reveals the golden kernels beneath, while also eliminating the bitter-tasting peanut hearts, ensuring that only evenly roasted, unburnt, and flavorful peanuts move forward in the process. Once perfectly roasted and stripped of their skins and bitter cores, the peanuts are fed into a two-stage grinding system, where the signature smooth texture of Reese's filling begins to take shape. In the first stage, the peanuts are ground into a thick, coarse paste. But the real magic happens next. This mixture passes through a high-tech ultrafine grinder, producing a silky, velvety peanut butter with a rich, dense consistency, free of grit, oil separation, or dryness. Alongside the peanut butter filling process, the outer chocolate layer, that rich, glossy brown coat, is prepared with just as much precision. The journey of Reese's chocolate begins with premium cacao beans, carefully sourced from renowned growing regions like Côte d'Ivoire, Ghana, and parts of South America. After being thoroughly cleaned, the cacao beans are sent into industrial roasters, where temperature and timing are strictly controlled to unlock their signature aroma. Each batch follows a custom roasting profile, depending on its origin and moisture content, to bring out the fullest range of natural flavors, from subtle woody notes and smokiness to delicate hints of berries. Once they reach the ideal roast level, the beans are quickly cooled to preserve their aroma, then cracked open to extract the inner cores, known as nibs. These are the most essential part of the bean, containing both cocoa solids and natural cocoa butter. The nibs are then ground in high-powered machines to produce chocolate liquor, a thick, flowing mixture that contains no alcohol but is rich in pure cacao flavor. This essence forms the foundation of Reese's signature chocolate, smooth, mellow, and crafted to pair perfectly with its iconic peanut butter filling. Next, the chocolate liquor is transferred into a sealed mixing tank, where it's blended with cocoa butter, sugar, milk powder, and lecithin, according to Reese's proprietary formula. This process takes place under tightly controlled conditions to create a smooth, consistent chocolate mixture. Unlike traditional dark chocolate, which can be intense, or milk chocolate, which is often overly sweet, Reese's chocolate is crafted to be gently sweet, smoothly textured, and moderately rich, just enough to enhance the peanut butter without overpowering it. This delicate balance is what gives Reese's its unmistakable character. Next comes the conching stage, a critical step in chocolate production, where the mixture is continuously mixed and aerated for several hours at temperatures between 130 and 180 degrees Fahrenheit, 54 to 82 degrees Celsius. This process further refines the cocoa and sugar particles, creating a smooth, uniform texture while also removing volatile compounds like acids and unwanted bitter notes. The result? Reese's chocolate becomes silky and velvety, melting gently on the tongue without harshness or astringency, delivering a perfectly smooth tasting experience. This is the soft secret behind the quality of Reese's chocolate, and it's also why premium chocolates are typically conched longer to achieve that luxurious texture and lingering finish. Finally comes tempering, the process of stabilizing cocoa butter crystals through controlled heating and cooling. The liquid chocolate is first heated to around 45 to 49 degrees Celsius to break down unstable crystals, then cooled to about 27 to 29. Without this step, the chocolate is prone to blooming, a whitish haze, becoming too soft or snapping unevenly when bitten. Thanks to advanced tempering systems, Reese's chocolate achieves a glossy finish, a light, satisfying snap when bitten, and the perfect melt-on-the-tongue texture. Once tempered to perfection, the chocolate is held at a stable melted state, ready for molding and pairing with its iconic peanut butter center, creating the sweet symbol that's conquered candy lovers worldwide. Once the peanut butter filling and outer chocolate are ready, they're brought to the most crucial part of the entire production line, the molding station, where each Reese's cup officially takes shape. First, the iconic paper cups, an unmistakable signature of Reese's, are neatly placed into metal trays. These aren't just wrappers, they act as molds, shaping every candy to perfection. Next, a layer of melted chocolate is dispensed into the bottom of each cup. The automated pouring system ensures every cup gets the exact amount of chocolate, with a smooth, even surface free of air bubbles. Immediately after, the warm, velvety peanut butter filling is precisely injected into the center. This is the heart of Reese's, and every drop must be perfectly centered to create a balanced bite. A second layer of chocolate is then poured on top, forming the lid of the cup. The molds are gently vibrated to eliminate any remaining air pockets, ensuring flawless adhesion between the layers with no cracks or separation once cooled. Finally, the trays move into a rapid cooling chamber, where the temperature is perfectly calibrated to solidify the chocolate within minutes. After leaving the cooling chamber, each Reese's cup is fully formed, with a glossy chocolate shell perfectly encasing the rich, creamy peanut butter filling inside. Next comes the final, yet equally vital stage, packaging, where each candy transforms from a factory product into a sweet icon, ready to hit the shelves. From there, countless Reese's cups are loaded onto refrigerated trucks and sent across distribution routes nationwide, reaching consumers through supermarkets, convenience stores, movie theaters, and even school lunchboxes enjoyed by millions of students. But every time you enjoy that sweet, irresistible treat, if you're a peanut butter fan, have you ever wondered, where does peanut butter come from? The origin of that smooth, creamy filling isn't a lab formula or a trade secret. It begins in vast peanut fields, where each nut is carefully planted, nurtured, and harvested, marking the very first step in the journey to becoming the heart of every Reese's cup. As the first cool breezes of autumn sweep across the southern fields of Alabama, farmers here gear up for their most important season of the year, peanut harvest. Mornings are filled with the scent of damp soil and the low rumble of machinery warming up. After a long summer of growth, the peanut plants stand ready, prepared to begin their journey from field to factory. In the fields, digger-shaker machines roar to life. With each plunge of their blades into the soil, rows of peanut plants are lifted and flipped upside down, exposing the golden pods to direct sunlight. In just a few hours, dozens of acres can be efficiently turned, far faster than manual labor ever could. Instead of artificial drying, farmers here let the peanuts rest right where they're flipped, drying under the autumn sun for 3 to 5 days. This gentle, even drying helps preserve the peanuts' natural flavor and color, without the need for energy-intensive equipment. Once the moisture level is just right, combine harvesters step in. Their rotating fans and sieves gently separate the peanuts from their vines, and the leftover stems aren't discarded. Instead, they're returned to the soil as natural mulch, enriching the ground for next season's crop and reducing fertilizer use. The peanuts are then loaded onto conveyors and dropped into giant holding bins, each carrying up to 10 tons. At nearby collection points, heavy-duty trucks transport the harvest to modern processing facilities, where temperature and humidity are carefully monitored. From here, the journey to becoming rich, creamy peanut butter begins, soon to be nestled inside the iconic Reese's cups, beloved around the world. Few people know that the irresistible appeal of M&M's lies not only in its flavor, but also in a military-inspired idea. In 1941, Forrest Mars Sr., son of the founder of the Mars Candy Empire, teamed up with Bruce Murray, the son of the vice president of Hershey's Chocolate Company. Together, they created a type of candy designed specifically for American soldiers. The name M&M stands for Mars and Murray, the two names behind this sweet alliance. Although originally produced exclusively for the military, M&M's quickly became a sensation after the war ended. As civilians tasted the American soldier's candy for the first time, they were instantly captivated, and the rest, as they say, is history. Another fun fact is that even within a single pack of M&M's, there exists a kind of color discrimination. Not all colors are distributed equally, and that's actually a calculated strategy. If you'd like to know which color gets the most spotlight, share your favorite one with us and join the sweet discovery in this video. Every journey has a beginning, and for M&M's, that beginning lies deep within the lush tropical rainforests, where sunlight filters through dense green canopies and casts golden patches on the trunks of cacao trees. In countries like Côte d'Ivoire, Ghana, and Brazil, where red soil and humid climates create the perfect conditions, Cacao trees have been part of farmers' lives for generations. Cacao is a quirky plant. Its pods grow straight from the trunk, and it bears fruit year-round. The main harvest season runs from October to March, when the plantations come alive with the sound of laughter, knives slicing through pods, and footsteps rustling through fallen leaves. Despite being the backbone of a billion-dollar chocolate industry, cacao is still harvested entirely by hand. No machine can match the sensitivity of human touch when handling such delicate fruit. And here's a surprise. It takes more than 400 cacao beans, around 10 to 13 pods, to produce less than half a kilogram of chocolate. That means every tiny candy holds the effort of an entire farm, a whole season, and countless silent hours of labor. After harvest, each cacao pod is split open using sharp machetes or sturdy wooden clubs. Inside the rough, ridged shell are plump, glossy cacao beans, nestled in a layer of white, mucilaginous pulp. This pulp has a mildly sweet, slightly tangy flavor and a fragrant aroma reminiscent of a tropical fruit medley: mango, pineapple, and passion fruit. Immediately after shelling, the cacao beans are quickly gathered into woven baskets, wooden troughs, or wrapped in banana leaves to begin a crucial stage in the journey: fermentation. This is the transformation phase, where bland, odorless beans are turned into the flavorful foundation of seductive chocolate. Over the course of 5 to 7 days, microorganisms in the surrounding pulp generate heat, raising the temperature of the bean mass up to 50 degrees Celsius, triggering a cascade of chemical reactions that unlock the bean's potential. Each day, the beans are turned to allow them to breathe and prevent mold growth, for even a single oversight can turn a batch from richly aromatic cacao to something sour and off-putting, like spoiled pickled fruit. At this stage, the beans are spread out evenly on bamboo mats, concrete patios, or mesh drying racks, and left to dry under the natural sun for several days. During the drying process, farmers must regularly turn the beans by hand or gently rake them to ensure even drying and to prevent mold or continued fermentation. Once dried, the beans are packed into jute sacks, a sturdy, breathable material, ready to be shipped to chocolate processing factories around the world. Each sack holds about 60 to 65 kilograms of dried beans, the result of weeks of careful tending under the sun, the rain, and the hard-working hands of the farmers. Before roasting, some cacao beans are cut open to inspect their internal quality. Inspectors examine the color, consistency, and structure of the inner part, known as the nibs. High-quality nibs should be dark brown, firm, and free of mold or hollow spots. This step is crucial to assess whether the fermentation and drying processes were done properly, ensuring the chocolate produced later meets the highest flavor standards. Next comes the roasting stage, a crucial step that unlocks the full flavor potential of each cacao bean. The beans are placed in roasters at temperatures ranging from 120 to 150 degrees Celsius, depending on the variety, moisture level, and desired flavor profile. During this process, important chemical reactions occur, fully drying the nibs while developing their rich aroma and deep color. If under-roasted, the beans may lack fragrance. If over-roasted, they can turn bitter. That's why each batch must be carefully monitored to ensure the final chocolate achieves a perfectly balanced flavor. Once the cacao beans have been roasted, they are sent to the shelling process. The brittle outer shell is removed using specialized machinery, leaving only the inner nibs. And the magical journey from rough, spiky cacao pods to billions of sweet little candies begins right here. Once the cacao nibs are separated from their shells, they are finely ground under high pressure to form a thick, dark brown paste known as chocolate liquor. Don't be misled by the name. This chocolate liquor contains no alcohol, yet it's more than enough to intoxicate the senses with its rich, pure cacao flavor. After being finely ground into chocolate liquor, the mixture is fed into a hydraulic press. Under immense pressure, cocoa butter, the rich, creamy essence of each bean, is slowly extracted, dripping out in golden drops like honey. This is the step where the purest essence is drawn out, giving chocolate its irresistibly smooth, melt-in-your-mouth texture. The remaining material after the cocoa butter is extracted, known as cocoa cake, is cooled and then transferred to a high-powered grinder. Here, the cake is finely ground into cocoa powder, preserving its rich aroma and characteristic bitter taste. This powder is a common ingredient in baking, beverages, and is used to add flavor to many other chocolate products. Later, the cocoa butter is blended back together with chocolate liquor, sugar, and other essential ingredients to create a smooth, aromatic chocolate mixture. It's a process where each step is a blend of science and emotion, so that when chocolate touches your tongue, you're not just tasting sweetness, but experiencing a whole journey. The liquid chocolate is poured into cold, round, or hemispherical molds to shape each chocolate center. The mixture quickly solidifies while maintaining a smooth and glossy surface. Afterward, the chocolate pieces are placed in a gentle rotating chamber to help them become more evenly shaped, remove air bubbles, and set firmly. This is an essential step in creating a smooth center, ready for the sugar coating in the next stage. The mixture of thick syrup, glucose syrup, and other ingredients is used to create a smooth and shiny coating. This mixture is sprayed into a large rotating drum, where the chocolate pieces continuously roll around. Inside the giant rotating pans, the chocolate centers continuously tumble as the coating mixture is gently sprayed in. Thanks to the constant motion and alternating drying process, the mixture gradually dries and adheres evenly to each piece. With every turn, a thin layer of sugar forms, followed by more spraying and drying. The result is a crisp, glossy, and perfectly smooth shell, one that prevents the chocolate from melting and delivers that satisfying crack with every bite. M&Ms not only delight the taste buds but also stand out with 6 signature colors: red, yellow, green, blue, orange, and brown. Among them, blue and orange are favored for their positive vibe and appetite-stimulating effect. In contrast, brown, despite resembling the color of chocolate, appears the least to ensure each pack stays vibrant and eye-catching, which has long been the visual trademark of M&Ms. But the journey of each candy doesn't end with its crisp sugar shell. After being coated in vibrant colors, each M&M enters a final iconic step, the printing of the M logo, a tiny yet powerful mark that transforms an ordinary chocolate piece into a global star. And so, after all the meticulous steps, the brightly colored candies finally roll into their final stop, the high-speed packaging line. Thousands of M&Ms are poured into the automated system, where they are perfectly portioned, sealed in small packs with a printed code like a passport, then swiftly placed into awaiting cartons. From here, the national candy begins its adventure, appearing on supermarket shelves, in theater snack counters, in convenience stores on street corners, and even in space. Who says candy is just for eating? With M&Ms, each piece is a vibrant personality, a cartoon character stepping out from imagination to become the very soul of the brand. Since the 1990s, M&Ms has breathed life into each color, turning them into beloved icons of global pop culture. Yellow is innocent and kind, while red is confident and proud. Green is alluring and sharp, and Ms. Brown is intelligent and composed. Blue exudes calmness and coolness, while orange is always anxious but sincere and lovable. Each color tells a story. Each candy embodies a way of life. If you're a fan of M&Ms and want to explore a world full of colors, M&M's World is the place you can't miss. While you're here, don't forget to check out the M&M's wall, a 50-meter-long candy wall with hundreds of colorful candy tubes, where you can pick your favorite colors or mix and match to create your own cool combo. You can even print your portrait or a personal message on an M&M's candy, creating a super unique souvenir. Additionally, M&M's World offers exclusive souvenirs like t-shirts, mugs, and stuffed animals, all available only here. Let's take a quick trip back in time. The M&M's logo first appeared in 1941 with a simple typeface. In 1954, the iconic lowercase m was printed on each candy in black ink, later changed to white for better visibility. During the 1980s, the logo was softened with rounded edges to match a more youthful image. Since 2000, M&M's has continuously refined the design to stay modern and vibrant, while keeping the brand's playful spirit alive. A tiny M&M holds a whole world of colors and a magical journey behind it. Are you ready to take a bite?
The instant coffee production process begins with one of the most crucial steps, roasting the coffee beans. This is when the beans truly transform, unlocking their rich aroma and signature flavor. Modern roasting machines operate at around 200 degrees Celsius, constantly rotating the beans to ensure even roasting without burning. During this stage, intense chemical reactions take place, creating the distinct coffee aroma and deep brown color. Once roasted, the beans are rapidly cooled and transferred to grinders, where they are ground into coarse powder, the primary raw material for the extraction phase. The ground coffee is placed into high-pressure extraction tanks, where hot water, at temperatures between 150 and 180 degrees Celsius, extracts the full spectrum of flavor, caffeine, and soluble compounds. Each hour, a factory can produce up to 18,000 liters of concentrated coffee extract. The liquid extract is then sent to a vacuum evaporation system, which reduces the water content and turns the coffee into a thick, concentrated syrup. This mixture is spread evenly over a 30-meter-long conveyor belt and moved into the freezing chamber. There, at temperatures between 40 to 50 degrees Celsius, the concentrate is completely frozen, a critical step that preserves the coffee's aroma and quality before drying. Even after freezing, the coffee still contains water in the form of ice. To convert it into dry instant coffee without damaging its structure or flavor, factories use a process called freeze drying under vacuum pressure. At around 60 degrees Celsius, the ice undergoes sublimation, transitioning directly from solid to vapor without melting. This method prevents aroma loss, clumping, and preserves the light, porous texture that makes the coffee easy to dissolve in hot water. After drying, the coffee granules are collected in large containers and transferred to automated packaging lines. Jars or sachets are filled within seconds, sealed airtight, labeled with product details, and undergo a final quality check before shipping. Every week, hundreds of tons of instant coffee leave these factories, headed to supermarkets, cafes, and kitchens across the globe. Let's leave the high-tech factory behind and return to where it all begins: sun-drenched, vibrant coffee farms. Trust me, you won't want to miss the stunning scenes of the coffee harvest. During the dry season, across vast coffee fields, nature and technology come together in harmony. The most advanced harvesting machines today glide through rows of coffee trees like diligent giants, working with precision and efficiency. Equipped with up to 1,500 vibrating rods, these machines create just the right amount of shaking to detach ripe coffee cherries without damaging the plant or unripe fruit. The fallen cherries are caught by soft, wide nets that minimize bruising or contamination. Then, they move along automatic conveyors where smart air blowers remove leaves, twigs, and debris, leaving only clean, high-quality cherries. The closed-loop system ends with automatic conveyors that transfer the cherries into large containers on trailers, moving alongside the harvesters, ready for the next stage. With a capacity of up to 12,000 pounds per hour, these machines replace the manual labor of over 100 workers, significantly cutting down time and costs. Even more remarkable, this technology allows coffee plants to be relieved earlier, giving them more time to recover before the next cycle, boosting long-term yield and quality. It's not just a solution to labor shortages, but a sustainable path forward for the global coffee industry. Alongside modern machinery, hand-picking is still widely practiced in areas with steep terrain or when harvesting premium coffee varieties. Farmers carefully pick only ripe cherries directly from the branches, ensuring optimal quality. This method often involves multiple passes through the same trees to avoid collecting unripe cherries. The harvested cherries are gently placed into baskets and transported to the processing site. While time-consuming and labor-intensive, hand harvesting protects the plants and minimizes damage to the fruit. It's also the preferred method for producing high-end specialty coffee, where preserving natural flavor and exceptional quality is key. This artisanal approach reflects not only meticulous care, but also pride in producing some of the world's finest coffee, celebrated by growers and connoisseurs alike. After harvesting, ripe cherries are loaded into large trucks, each capable of carrying up to 20,000 pounds of coffee. These vehicles ensure fast and efficient transport to the initial processing stations, where quality begins. The first step is water-based sorting, simple but highly effective. The cherries are poured into large tanks where they separate based on density. Ripe, dense cherries sink to the bottom, while unripe, hollow, or damaged ones float and are discarded. In some regions, farmers still use traditional dry processing, spreading the harvested cherries under the sun for 7 to 14 days. This method saves energy and retains some of the natural flavors, but it requires favorable weather and careful handling throughout the drying period. After sorting, the cherries are sent to industrial pulping machines. Using rotating drums and gentle pressure, the machines strip away the outer skin and fruit flesh, leaving behind the coffee beans. The removed pulp is often repurposed as organic fertilizer for the next season. A great example of sustainable farming. However, the beans are still covered in a sticky mucilage layer that must be removed. This is done through natural fermentation, typically lasting 12 to 36 hours depending on the ambient temperature. Once the mucilage breaks down, the beans are thoroughly washed with high-pressure clean water, resulting in smooth, spotless coffee beans. Washed beans must be dried to reach a standard moisture content of 10 to 12%, which is essential for safe storage and mold prevention. Modern facilities often combine sun drying and mechanical drying, depending on the weather and production scale. Sun drying preserves the original flavor, but is time-consuming and weather-dependent. Meanwhile, mechanical dryers operating at 40 to 60 degrees Celsius can dry beans evenly and quickly within 24 to 48 hours, offering consistent and controlled results. Once fully dried, the beans are sent to hulling machines to remove the thin parchment layer left on the outside. This protective layer must be removed before roasting. Next comes grading, where the beans are sorted by size and weight using vibrating screens and gravity-based sensors. Larger, denser, and more uniform beans are selected. These are the top-tier candidates for producing high-quality instant coffee.
Coconut trees are like the Swiss Army knife of plants. Not only do they look iconic with their towering trunks and breezy fronds, but they provide food, drink, shelter, and even beauty products. It's almost as if Mother Nature decided to pack everything useful into one tree and said, "Here, figure out the rest." In Indonesia, the coconut palm is known as the tree of life. But these trees don't just magically grow on beaches. They need rich soil, plenty of sunshine, and a steady supply of tropical rain. And it's the farmers who give these trees the care they need, nurturing each palm from a tiny sprout to a towering tree that sometimes stretches over 60 feet high. Let's get to the exciting part, harvesting. You might think it's all about shaking the tree and catching fallen coconuts, but these coconuts play hard to get. They hang on for dear life, dangling 60 feet in the air as if daring farmers to come and get them. First, harvesting coconuts takes planning. It's not like just picking up apples. These nuts mean business. Farmers plan their harvest season, which usually takes place a few times a year. They gather their tools, anything from traditional machetes to long poles with blades on the end. Imagine a massive fruit skewer. Get ready for the climb. Climbing coconut trees could probably be an Olympic sport. Some farmers are masters of free climbing, wrapping their feet and hands around the trunk like coconut-hugging pros. Others use harnesses or even special loops made from coconut fibers to shimmy up the tree with impressive speed. And if that wasn't enough, there are also trained monkeys who are taught to climb up, twist the coconut loose, and drop it down for collection. A partnership of farmer and primate that's as efficient as it is adorable. Once the coconuts are down, it's time for collection. Imagine picking up 18 tons of coconuts. Farmers gather the coconuts by hand, load them onto carts, boats, or trucks, and haul them off to the next stage. Some farms even use small tractors or carts to make the job a little easier. But in many cases, it's a full-body workout in the tropical heat, making each coconut butter jar on your shelf a testament to human endurance. Harvesting was only the beginning. After the coconuts make it off the farm, it's time to get them prepped for the real magic. First up, these coconuts need a good dehusking. Think of it like peeling the world's toughest orange. Dehusking is a skill all its own, involving a sharp spike where the coconut is speared and peeled, exposing the hard shell within. Once the shell is cracked open, farmers get to the good stuff, that delicious, juicy coconut meat. This meat is then grated, either by hand or with the help of machinery, until it's ready to move on to extraction. Next, the grated coconut goes through a process of pressing and squeezing to get every bit of oil out of the meat. This oil is then blended and churned to achieve the creamy, spreadable consistency we know and love as coconut butter. Heat is sometimes added to help with the mixing, giving the butter its smooth, luxurious texture. Quality control is crucial. Nobody wants a chunky jar of coconut butter. Once the butter is smooth, it's packed up, labeled, and prepared for shipment. And with Indonesia being a top coconut exporter, this coconut butter might just end up in kitchens all around the globe. In addition, a large number of coconuts are processed and packaged quickly to serve many different purposes. Let's take a moment to appreciate the humble coconut beyond just butter and oil. For Indonesia, coconuts are a serious economic player. Coconut products, from cooking oil to cosmetics and food, contribute significantly to the economy, providing income to thousands of farmers and workers. Culturally, coconuts are everywhere in Indonesian life. From traditional dishes to religious ceremonies, coconuts play a starring role. In villages, they're even a remedy for everything from frizzy hair to stomach aches. Coconut water is the go-to natural remedy for dehydration, hangovers, you name it. At the end of the day, the journey of a coconut from the palm to a jar of coconut butter is nothing short of impressive. It's a labor of love, skill, and endurance by Indonesian farmers who work with nature's Swiss Army knife of plants to bring you a taste of the tropics. So, next time you spread some coconut butter on your toast, take a moment to think about the tree, the farmer, and the 60-foot climb that went into making it all possible. Here's to the mighty coconut and the farmers who bring it to our tables, one delicious jar at a time. So that's the story about coconuts. Hope you'll enjoy it. Don't forget to like and subscribe to our YouTube channel to get notified when our exciting videos go live. Goodbye.